Hello, in this session we will look at Multicut tool, Merge Vertex to the center tool and Chamfer Vertex tool. So to start with, I'll create a cylinder, something like this, big cylinder. I will go with 18 subdivision, height is 7, radius is 15, subdivision height I will give something like 6, right. So we have a cylinder over here. Now using Multicut tool, we will see how we can add segment to this cylinder. Shift right click, Multicut tool. I will go to the tool option. At the bottom you can see keyboard and mouse shortcut. So what are the combinations we can use to get the results we need. So I will go with what I know. If you have any issues or doubts, you can check in this option. First option is snap step. What is this snap step? Here, when I move around this mesh, we can see the moment I click Multicut tool, it goes to the component mode. It is not in the object mode. Here it is showing me or giving me clues from where I can start my edge or from where I can start the cut. So when I go above an edge, it is highlighting the edge. I can start from this edge. So when I press shift, I'll get a dot exactly at the center of the edge. So I can start my cut from here. So when I press left mouse button now, I can see a number 50. 50 means 50% from this point. So now it will show 10% from 20, 30, 40. So this is this increment because of this number 10. So if I press 25, before pressing 25, I have to remove this dot. How do I remove? I can press backspace or delete. Sorry, I'll press 10 here. Here I'll come and delete this dot, backspace or delete. So it will be removed. I'll go here, I'll press 25. Now I'll press shift over here, left mouse. You can see the increment is by 25. I'll press backspace, it will get deleted. Then we have something called smoothing angle. Smoothing angle is nothing but when I apply loops to this mesh, I can apply loops by pressing Control. I can see over here it is creating more segments. Maybe because of the subdivision, I'll press reset setting. It may be because of my old work. Subdivision is 1, smoothing angle is 180. I'm pressing Control and moving around this particular mesh. When I press the left mouse button, when I click the left mouse button, the edge will get created. So you can create edge loops horizontally or vertically by pressing Control. When I press Control and middle mouse, this edge loop will get snapped to the center of the face horizontally or vertically. Now it is getting snapped to the center of the face. I'll just leave my mouse button. You can see the edge flow getting created. Then we have something called edge flow. This edge flow is nothing but, I'll go down, just select this vertices, I will make it smaller, I'll just come here, drag it up. Here I'll come here, I'll make this edge flow off. Now it is off. Now I'm creating a loop over here. I don't see any changes happening in this flow. The same thing we saw in insert edge loop tool. Now I'll go to the Multicut, enable this. Now I'll come here, press Control, I'll go near so we can see it more clearly. Now you can see the flow is changing according to the position of my edge loop. You can see the flow is changing. Depending on my flow, the loop is getting applied. You can see over here, Multicut with the edge flow available. We can see a edge flow happening. But when I off it, there won't be any change. So this intensity you can increase or decrease. So then we have subdivisions. When we create a loop or when we create an edge, how many subdivisions we want from that particular edge loop or the segment. For example, now I am pressing from here to here. I don't see any segments over here. When I press around 3 over here, I will press from here to here. You can see there are 3 segments getting created. I'll off this edge flow. From these segments, I can get a cut. So make sure you have in one, because in rare cases we may need these segments in between our cut. Slice tool. So what is this slice tool? I can just press outside, shift, left click. So I can see there is a long slice. This will help me to see where I can create the loop. It is moving in 10-degree angle. When I increase this value to around 25, you can see I'm just pressing outside, shift. You can see it is moving in 20-degree angles, 25-degree angle. If I go with 45 degrees, shift, I can see this is moving in 45-degree angle. If I am not holding shift, it will move freely. I can create a slice over here. We can see because of this slice, this object got cut into 2. I can select the slice, I can double click. See, it is moving in its own direction. It doesn't care. It is not worrying about the quads or the mesh flow. I can just select it. I can remove, or I can make this mesh into 2. I can keep it to myself. I can do whatever I want. I can come here. I'll go to edit mesh, detach. It got detached right now. So when I double click the faces, I can see this mesh is separate, this mesh is separate, but it is a single object. I can take the object out by separate. Now we have a separate object over here. So this is the use of slice tool. I can cut using the slice tool. So here I don't have to worry about the mesh flow or edge loop, like in when we are applying insert edge loop tool. If it is not a quad, it won't work. Here it is not the case. It will work even if it is not a quad. So I'll go to the multicut tool. In the slice, there is an option called ignore back faces. So what is this back faces? When I come here, I will see through this view. In the shading, I will apply X-ray. When I apply X-ray, we can see some, when I rotate this object, so the pivot is here. I'll go to modify, center pivot. You can see the edges on the back side of the object. So when I come here, we can see these edges are from the back side. When I go to display polygon, when I click this back face culling, we won't be able to see what is behind us. So when I select something like this over here, we can see these are the objects which are getting selected from behind. So we can just deselect them. So this will be helpful when we are working with object which is very meshy and we have to avoid selecting the vertices or components on the other side. The same way, when I check this multicut and go to ignore back faces and I want to cut this, ignore back faces. Now I am cutting it. I can see the dots coming because it is not going to cut the other side. You can see the back side, the flow or the cut didn't happen. Only it cut till the area where we can see. So that is the use of ignore back faces. So then the option is delete the faces after we cut. I don't want ignore back faces. So it is going to delete the faces. So I'll check this, delete the faces. When I click like this, it will delete the faces below the cut. So if I am taking from this side, left side, it will cut the top face. If I am taking from right side, it will take the bottom face. It will just delete the faces. If I want to extract it, what I did over here right now, we are going to this mesh extract. The same thing it will do right now. So when we create like this, I am pressing enter. you can see it is extracting the meshes separately. So these are going to be separate meshes right now. When I double click, it is going to be separate, right? We can slice things like this using this separate option or extract faces. I'll just take it out. Slice along plane, we can choose any plane we want to slice, like we can use like this. So we can rotate that plane. For example, I'll select the slice tool again. I'll go with YZ plane. Here, move settings, I can move a relative distance, something like this angle, I can move. So here you can see the slice happening. If I want, I can go with the rotate. So how do I go with the rotate? Sorry, I'll just click this gizmo. Now I can see the rotate gizmo is available. I can rotate in this way. Step size, I don't want 15, I'll go with 1. So I'll have a smooth movement. By using this method, you can slice objects in a perfect way. If you want to scale, you can go with the scaling. You can see you have this scale working. So I'll go to the reset, I'll press enter. We can get the objects slice, right? So this is the purpose of this slice plane along these angles. I'll go to the reset. Then there is color. So what color do we want for this line? I can change the color to red. So we will get a red line. We can see over here, we are getting a red line. So it is up to me to choose what color line I want. I'll go to the default values, edge points. So here we can see or change the colors as we wish. So then we have live constraint options. This live constraint is not useful when we are doing a cut or segmenting in a single object. If you are working with faces, or I will minimize the setting. If you are going with this live and using this quad draw tool, along with the quad draw tool, this live constraint option will work. We can see this again, live constraint. We have the same options over here. When I go to the multicut tool, we have the same option. So when we are seeing this quad draw tool, we will see what this live constraint option will do. So now we don't have to worry about it. So what is the use of learning these tools? So we may have to reduce the segmenting. We may have to reduce how we are segmenting, or we may have to reduce the mesh flow of an object. When we are reducing a mesh flow, these tools are very helpful. For example, I will show you. I'll select a plane. I'll just rotate it. I'm pressing J and rotating to get a snap. So I'll get something like 90 degrees. I hope it is 90. Yes. I'll take it up. I will make it something like a square and apply some segments. When I apply these segments, now I want to reduce this mesh flow. I don't want this much coming down. I want to reduce this. So how do I reduce? I'll just come here. I'll increase this to something like this, right? So here we have around 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. I don't want these 4 loops to happen. I want only 3 loop or single loop coming down. So how can I remove this? I will select these vertices, shift right click, merge vertices to the center. I'll delete this edge. I'll delete this edge loop. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops are coming from up, but at the bottom we can see 1, 2, 3. So we are losing 3 loops and reducing the face count over here. So if we didn't do this, you can see the face count is 81. So when I did this, when I reduce the faces, I'm just deleting this, I can see the count drastically reducing. So there are other ways where I'll come here, I'll go to the multicut tool, reset the settings. I'll just come here. I'll just come here like this, something like this, so we can reduce the mesh count. So I'll just reduce till here. So here we can see 1 2, but here we can see 1 2 3 4. So there are methods. So from up to down you can reduce. So if I want to reduce down, I can do the same thing. Shift, I'll go to the multicut tool, shift, I'll just create a loop over here, or I make a cut over here, press W. Now you can see the mesh flow got reduced, but here we have 1 2 3 4 faces, 1 2 3 4. So we are not compromising on the face count. Everywhere it is going to be a quad, but we are using this tool to reduce the mesh flow or the edge flow, where we can reduce decent number of face count. So when we are going with low poly modeling, when we can't compromise, person have given a limit to us, you can't cross 3000 polygons or 10,000 polygons. This is the limit you can have. So these tools will be handy when you are reducing the mesh count and creating some nice mesh flows, right? Then if I want to create something like a circle from a poly face, so I'll create one more plane. I'll bring it up. I'll just press J. It will snap and rotate. Now I have a face segment. I have a segment of 6 or something. Now I want something like a circular area over here. How do I create a circular area? I'll just select this vertex, shift right click, chamfer vertex. We have only one option, it is width 25. When I apply like this, we can see the width option coming. So it is telling me how the chamfer is happening. So here we got a chamfer. Length division, we are not looking into it. So remove the face after chamfer. So the meaning of this is, I'll go with remove the face after chamfer, apply with yes. So here we can see the face got removed after chamfering. These are the only two options we have under the chamfer vertex. So what is the purpose of creating a chamfer? It can be used for many purposes depending on our mesh flow. So we can see something like a simple tools. I'll go to shift right click, multicut tool, reset settings. I'll just cut like this. Right. Now I'll select these alternate vertices, scale them. I'm getting something like a circular pattern. So mesh flow also should be something correct to get the result. When I press 3, you can see we get a circle over here. So I can select the edge loop over here. Again press Ctrl E. When I press Ctrl E, I can extrude the edges. I'll go to the center or the object center. I'll increase the thickness this way, or I can apply some divisions. So I can create some holes using this chamfer vertex and multicut tool. So this can be adjusted even after we create that hole. So if I want a hole in a different shape, I can create. So it is not necessary it have to be a hole. We can create any shape from a quad using this chamfer and multicut tools. So in the next session, we will see how to create an object by looking at a reference, like importing an image into Maya and looking at that reference. How do we create an object? For this session, that's all. Chamfer vertex, merge vertex to the center, multicut tool, and the options under Multicut tool. Practice till this. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, please comment below. If you have any doubts also, you please comment below. We will clarify those doubts as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. See you in the next class. Thank you.